So I thought I'd do a very realistic makeup tutorial. I have convinced myself that the only way I can upload YouTube videos is if everything is backed up by fact and research. That's not a bad goal, but also it has kept me from posting for months. I don't even know the last time I posted. I hate seeing dry, dead skin on my face, so I use an exfoliant. I don't use the best exfoliant ever. In fact, a lot of women on many Reddit forums and just in real life have said, oh, I hate that one. That's not good for your skin. It roughs it up too much. It damages your skin barrier. So usually I get the St. Ives. This is probably even worse for your skin compared to St. Ives. So, Jasmine, how do I know that my exfoliant is doing a great job? Let me tell you, your skin will be red, irritated, raw. It might sting a little bit whenever you moisturize it, whenever I'm like getting ready for a date, and I really don't want to go back because, you know, I've done this where I will apply all of my makeup, decide that I can see the dead skin, and then I'll go to the bathroom and use one of these rough cloths and really go in for it. And this is the only part that I actually would recommend of my routine. Jojoba oil, which is a very simple oil. So I put on some of this and I put on some of that, and I use an extortionate amount of this. And this doesn't leave my skin feeling greasy. You're just gonna go ahead and aggressively rub that into the skin. This isn't gentle. Oh man, I love how it makes me feel. This is the Dear Darling water tint from Etude House. Put on a couple little dots. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. I feel like I'm getting it in my pores and you can see it. A part of me is like, oh, well, it kind of looks like natural blush because it's not perfectly blended. It's like a little bit blotchy, just a little bit before I apply foundation. I usually like to apply makeup every day because I'm insane. I'm not insane, it makes me feel better. Positive self-talk. I use this foundation. It doesn't have a pump, so it's super hygienic. Me just pouring this on here and then having a bunch clump up at the top. It's really nice. I think this shade is a little bit too light for me. Like, it washes me out a little bit. I don't feel like finding a shade that matches me perfectly. I try to put on as little as possible. I mean, I'm using fingers. I'm not gonna use a beauty blender. You're supposed to put it in water and then use it. I'm afraid that a bug might nest in the middle, you know, it might be attracted to it with all the moisture. And then I would just have like a colony of little bugs in the middle of my beauty blender. Can you see that? I can see it and it bothers me. Oh my God, I can see dead skin. You can't see the dead skin, but there's a lot of dead skin. You can't see it, but I can see it. Now there's a bunch of foundation under that fingernail and dead skin. It's quite nasty. I'm going to put on some powder to set the foundation that I just put down. CoverGirl Clean Matte Powder. I really wouldn't recommend any of the products that I use. Put a bit on my forehead to take away the shine. Big brush. I got this from e.l.f. 7 years ago. I don't think I've ever washed this. I take the darkest brown that I have. This is the one that I use for my brows. As you can see, the day that I buy a new, eyeshadow palette so I can do my brows will be a momentous occasion. Lightly fill this in. Yeah. We have made it to one of the most important steps. The most important, the scariest, it's just eyeliner. I look at this lash line, the lower lash line, and I try to continue it. And I saw this from TikTok back in the day when I had it. My life has changed for the better and I'm gonna make a video about it. I'm getting off topic. I use the line that's on the lower part of my eyebrow. That's what that's called. And I use that to be parallel. So this wing line is going to be parallel to that line. Use whatever mascara you want. I don't believe in all of these mascaras that are like, oh, this one's super lengthening and this one's so much better. I think the key is just having a wand that doesn't garner too much product. So this is the Wax and Roll Elf Mascara, and it actually ran out pretty quickly. I only bought this very recently. There is a huge difference between this and this, because I feel like it balances out my features. My nose is kind of big, my lips are kind of thin, and my eyes are kind of big. In proportion to my nose, I think my nose is a bit bigger. I gotta emphasize the bigness to balance out the bigness, and also some more bigness to make all the bignesses align. I don't know if I love how that turned out, but it took place and I am accepting it. We have now reached the last step.
Let us die to make men free, while God is marching on.
My lips with it. This eyelid raisy thing. This thing is called the Marcus Gunn phenomenon. It's a rare condition characterized by a movement of the upper lid in a rapid rising motion, a wink, each time the jaw moves. The wink phenomenon may be elicited by opening the mouth, thrusting the jaw to the side, jaw protrusion, chewing, smoking, or sucking. Anyway, when I was younger, I remember I thought this was like the weirdest thing. I didn't even notice it, but my teachers were like, oh, you have a lazy eye. Something is wrong with you, because apparently having a lazy eye means something is wrong with you, aka it really doesn't. People in the 90s were super judgmental. And I went to music school and I wanted to be a conductor. And I thought that, you know, when I looked down at my music, I would get this weird Marcus Gunn phenomenon, like eye wink thing. I thought that I wouldn't be able to really do anything in front of people. And so I asked people, I'm like, do you notice this weird thing about my eye? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, what weird thing about your eye? That looks really pink. You always look like this. Is this the case where in real life it looks good? Because it does. And then on camera it doesn't. Oh, what a new strange adventure this is. And now I take some Carmex. I think it's the blush. I hate the blush. Maybe it looks good. Maybe I'm being critical. Oh, that's a definite possibility that I'm being critical. It's not a possibility, it's a probability that I'm being critical. So just to make it look better on camera, I'm adding more powder. That is the finished look. I feel like my nose looks abnormally large, but maybe when I scale it out, it looks better. It is my dead mother's nose. What can we hope to see from you in the future, Jasmine? Just some ideas in case you're still sticking around and wondering, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? I feel like I'm gonna make a video on weight loss, listing my experience 2 years later from weight loss. It's been a very interesting, winding road. Spoiler alert, I've gained some of the weight back. I also want to talk about a fairly life-changing experience, and I'm gonna leave it at that. It's too complicated to just even mention what exactly happened, but a very life-changing experience that has been one of the most, just a life-changing experience. But yeah, this is a really bad angle. I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna include this.